limitless, the ability to break free, to experience golf in ways you never thought possible, taking your game to levels once only dreamed of. Welcome to the next generation of golf. This is EA Sports Rory McIlroy PGA Tour. Hello again, everyone. This is Rich Lerner here to walk you through some lessons on how to play EA Sports Rory McIlroy PGA Tour. We'll start with lessons that teach you how to set up different shots. Let's get started. The first thing you need to know is how to aim your shot. Change your aim direction to aim at the targets and pass this lesson. Picking the right club is another key to shot selection. Your current club is always displayed here. Change your club to aim at the targets and pass this lesson. There are 6 basic shot types built into the game for you to use. Your current shot type is always displayed here. A full shot aims your club at its maximum distance. A choke shot aims you a little shorter than the club's maximum distance. A punch shot is a low shot used to get out of the trees or keep the ball under the wind. A pitch shot is useful when you get near the green. A flop shot is useful near the green when you need the ball to stop quickly. A chip shot is useful when you are right next to the green and have a lot of room to work with. Creating custom shots starts with knowing how to change your aim distance. Change your aim distance to aim at the targets and pass this lesson. You can further customize your shots by using shot shaping. Your shot shaping meter will show up here when you are actively using it. Change your shot shape to aim through the rings and pass this lesson. There are 3 different ways to play the game. Each offers a unique swing mechanic and supporting settings. The tour style uses an advanced analog swing that emphasizes both the backswing and the follow-through. When you pull down on the swing stick, the golfer's animation will begin. From here, your speed on the swing stick will factor into your shot distance. You must swing fast on longer shots and softer on shorter shots. A readout of your backswing and follow-through will appear after you hit your shot. The tour style shortens your swing animation as you aim for shorter shots. However, it becomes easier to overswing and get unwanted distance. This forces you to have more touch on shorter shots. If you don't follow through when the meter gets full, you will end up overshooting your target. With the short distance, a slower follow-through is required to get the perfect amount of power. Now that you know how to play and your training is complete, you can keep this style. So many historic moments have played out before our eyes in major championships, and today, two of the top players in the world are set to tee off. Rory McIlroy holding a one-shot lead over Martin Kaymer. It's the final round of the U.S. Open Championship at Chambers Bay.
Going into, the final round of any golf tournament with a chance to win, especially a major championship, it's a huge buzz. That's the only way I can describe it. It's the best feeling a golfer can have because you're in the mix and you're in with a chance to win one of the biggest tournaments in the world. It's an incredible feeling. It's something that you may only get to experience a handful of times in your life. So, that atmosphere, you want to soak it in as much as you can and really enjoy it.
Rory McIlroy coming off a strong performance yesterday, now making his way to that first tee box and looking to add another major championship trophy to his already growing collection.
And Rich, there's no doubt both golfers will be nervous until they get that very first tee shot under their belt.
The first tee shot is probably the most difficult because you've been thinking about that shot since the night before. Once you get that first shot out of the way, you calm down, you're a little more settled, you're not quite as anxious or nervous, and you sort of get into the rhythm of the round. You want to get off to the best start possible, and obviously that starts with that first tee shot.
Well, here he is, Rory McIlroy, a past U.S. Open champion, about to tee off on what should be an historic day of golf alongside the beautiful Puget Sound. And he's underway. Frank, it looks like a good one.
Yeah, it looked like a free-flowing swing, that's for sure. It certainly betrayed the nervous feeling that we thought he might be feeling on the first tee. And a huge tee shot.
But you've been there, Frank. Nerves are good on the first tee, even for great players.
If you can control them.
Frank, tricky little shot from 145 for McIlroy.
You'd imagine with a little bit of nervous energy. Probably only a wedge, though, for Rory. Just something in between the flag and the bunkers on the right. Use the terrain of the green.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Looks to be a good one, Frank.
Oh, nestles inside 15 feet, so a birdie chance coming up for Rory.
Opportunity to put pressure on Kaymer right out of the gate.
It's uphill, Rich. And it should, if anything, move to the right. Just depends on the speed of this putt, whether it's left edge or outside.
He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does.
Birdie straight out of the gate.
Beautifully done.
I think making putts early in a round is very important. It sets the tone for the day and it gives you some positive momentum early. You see the ball go into the hole and it gives you confidence. You face a downhill putt at a US Open with greens that are as tricky as that, it just makes it even more difficult. I feel like you always face important putts no matter when it is, but obviously they're that much more important when, it's the final round of a major.
Now over to the second, and McIlroy with a challenging downhill putt. Frank, I know it's early, but if he drops this could really spark some momentum for the round.
But this putt will be very, very quick. You've got to be careful because the ball can quite easily take off once it gets past the hole.
Not that time, but not for lack of effort. So he'll have to take care of his business and knock it in for par. All right, took care of his business there. So second shot here at the fourth, and this one sets up pretty well for McIlroy, doesn't it, Frank?
It's an easy one for him to work out. A little bit uphill, perhaps a club. And with 165 yards, playing closer to 170, 175, still a birdie opportunity. And this will be fine, just a little left of the flag. It's a good strike, good swing by McIlroy, and no problem finding the putting surface.
And now he has this for the birdie.
Oh, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now at par.
Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt. Well, Frank, he'll drop at least one shot here. That was not his best effort.
No, poor is the easiest way to put that. He knows it.
Oh, man, just slides by. And only a tap in left. Good putt.
There's some times when there might be a wait on a tee box, or you've played your shot and you're waiting on your playing partners to hit their shots, and you just look around and you realize where you are, because you don't really you don't appreciate it that much whenever you're playing, and that's not what you're thinking about. You're thinking about trying to win a golf tournament and not really taking in the beauty of your surroundings.
Rory set to tee off here on the long par 3 ninth hole, appropriately named Olympus for its high perch above the course. Really a stunning view.
It's right now about club selection, whether to hit 1 or 2 clubs less than what the yardage is showing right now. We're at least 100 feet above here. And you're going to want to sit up on the left side of that green. Have to avoid that menacing bunker on the right. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Misses the green right here at the 9th. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. You can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss, and a drop shot here at the 9th. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
And just like the lone fir tree, there is now just one man with the lead, Martin Kaymer. Rory now in second behind Kaymer, looking at a difficult second shot here at the par 3 15th.
Missed the green on the left, Rich. Just that pot bunker between him and the hole. And there's only about 8 or 9 feet of green to work with. So this flop shot is going to have to be hit very high to make sure that ball lands soft. And at this point, it's critical to save par. Rich, you get that feeling. If there's going to be a moment, I think that moment is now.
Trying to clean this up, make his par. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par.
Final few holes to play, especially of a major championship like the US Open. It's what you've worked so hard for. It's what, you've put all those hours of practice in for, and this is your moment. This is your moment to see what you've got against the best players in the world and test yourself at the ultimate level. There's obviously a lot of pressure. You don't want to let an opportunity like this pass you by. You don't want to let it slip. So to stay really focused, really concentrated, try to take one shot at a time, try and put the result out of your mind, control what you can control. But saying that, it is difficult with so many things going on around you, whether it be the crowd, or it could be the person that you're going up against. There's so many things that you can't control, but You know, the things that you can control, that's what you have to concentrate on, and that's what you have to try and, you know, do to the best of your ability. And if you can do that, that's what gives you the best chance to try and win a huge tournament like the US Open.
You couldn't ask for much more than what we have right here. Two former US Open champions, 17th hole, tied for the lead, Martin Kaymer and Rory McIlroy.
And Rich, it's easy to remember these types of situations, and it's as much about mental toughness as anything right now. The 17th hole is named Derailed, and I'm sure it's a great test for both men's mental toughness. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, that was a pretty tough lie out of the rough there.
Yeah, it made that actually a little easier than what it really is. It would have been too easy to try and bite off more than you can chew. So I got to give him a pat on the back for that.
Back in the fairway. And he's made it onto the green now. These putts keep the round together. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Boy, the train went off the tracks here on this hole. This is for double bogey. Frank, this is where you want to step away from the controller for just a second.
Yeah, good. Mr. Good just met Mr. Bad.
One hole left to play here at the United States Open Championship. It all comes down to this. Frank, what does Rory need to do here off the tee?
Well, he has a big advantage, Rich. It's unusual actually to have a par 5 in a US Open as a finishing hole. He's slightly longer than Kaymer off the tee, so he has more chance of reaching this par 5 and 2. This ball never even looked like it was going down the fairway, hitting way right.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle. You know, Rich, so often we associate US Opens with just a straight slog, par after par, but this is a real treat. Kaymer at his best, McIlroy at their best, playing anything other than US Open style. This is a totally different generation.
Brilliant golf by the two Europeans. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
So third shot now for Rory McIlroy. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. So McIlroy is on the dance floor, but a good ways from the hole. McIlroy now trying to apply a little pressure to Martin Kaymer. This is for birdie. You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
Fairly long, 25-foot putt here. Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. And getting ready for the putt.
You want to know the difference between good scores and average scores? That.
Right there. The door was open, but Martin Kaymer slammed it shut. Kaymer, the U.S. Open champion yet again. It came down to the final hole. Kaymer really put on a show. This will forever be remembered as one of the best finishes in major championship history.
Lose a lead or you lose a major, or it doesn't quite work out the way you had hoped. At that moment in time, there's obviously a lot of disappointment, but I think that passes and you use that as motivation for the next one. And that's the only way you can view it. You can't feel sorry for yourself, or you can't get down about it, because what's happened's happened. The past is the past, and you move on. But you use it as motivation not to let it happen again. My toughest loss was the 2011 Masters, when I had a 4-shot lead going into the final round, and completely blew up on the back nine. It was a very tough moment for me. It was very disappointing, but I used that as motivation to say to myself, that's not going to happen again. That's not the player I am. That's not the player I want to be. I used it in a way that 70 days later, I won my first US Open and my first major. So sometimes disappointments can be catalysts for good things to happen in the future, and it's just how you react to it. And I feel like, if you react to your disappointments in the right way, they can be very beneficial.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Novelo. Frank, we've arrived at one of the more unusual golf courses in the United States. We're in the state of Washington, Chambers Bay. What's it all about?
Well, apart from the scenery, Rich, which is magnificent, this is a walking golf course, so it's a chance to get out there, strut your stuff, and see if you got a game to match.
It's a links golf course. We think of links golf, we think of the home of golf in Scotland. Here we're in the northwest part of the United States, though.
Yeah, but Scotland's, well, it's transferred a little piece of land all the way across the Atlantic.
So we're ready to get the round going here at Chambers Bay, and we'll begin, Frank, at the first with a par 4.
496 yards, obviously that'll stretch anybody out there. That bunker down the right is very much in play. The fairway does narrow out too, just short of that. So this really is going to require one of your best tee shots. Semi-blind second shot, a relatively big green. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This is a good-looking shot. Just a pure strike, a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. Shouldn't be a problem here. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
Just a couple of feet. Even par early on. Now at the second and a medium length par 4, Frank.
Yeah, a slight dogleg to the left, rather long, skinny green here, well bunkered all the way down the left side. Really anything down the right and the natural contours.
Hello again, everyone. This is Rich Lerner here to walk you through some lessons on how to play EA Sports Rory McIlroy PGA Tour.